Hey guys, this is M1 Warhead. First off, I want to thank you for purchasing this product. And today I'm going to show y'all how everything works so y'all can understand. I want to show y'all the code, and I've commented most of the code. I want to comment as I'm recording this video too. That way it's a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Understandable, I guess. First thing I'm going to do is I want to just play the game so I can show y'all. If you played the demo, you already know. But I'm still going to play it anyways. But before we do that, I want to show y'all where everything's at. Alright. These boxes right here, I got black ones on the outside. That's just to make it look like Frogger, I guess. I don't know how to do a fog of war. I guess it's sort of how Frogger did it. But I got these. I mean, they're just pretty big boxes, just that way so your camera doesn't see outside of anywhere. And that's the whole level down up in there. Okay. But anyways, we got these other ones right here. Let me zoom in. Let me make the screen bigger. Okay. These right here, I got one on each side of the map. Well, just the two sides. This one over here, and there's one over here. And what these do is, if a vehicle hits it, it just destroys the vehicle. That way, you don't have vehicles just keep going and going and going and going and going like this. There's no need for that, and that'll just cause a bunch of problems. Alright. Well, everything else is really just self-explanatory. You got a vehicle spawner, vehicle spawner, vehicle spawner, vehicle spawner. I got 8 on each side. Okay, and there's 4 more right here. And I got 8 on this side. Pretty much there's traffic going this way on this side. Same thing over here, traffic going this way on this side. And when you come over here, you got traffic going this way. I'll show y'all how everything works in a moment. As you can see, it says kill vehicle. It just kills the vehicle if they hit it. Same thing over here, kill vehicle. Now I got water spawners. And, oops. Let me just try to click on that one. Pretty much what this is, I got 2 on this side and 1 on this side. And what this does is it spawns logs in the water. That way, you can jump on the logs and try to cross over the river. Now, right now, I didn't put nothing on this side. I leave that up to you if you want to do that. I just made it just like a level. That way you can just test things out and see how it works and all that kind of good stuff. So right now, there's nothing over here. It's just an obstacle for you to do. And it's actually kind of hard unless you know what you're doing. I got this little platform right here. That's where, if you played the demo, I'm not sure if you did or not, but if you didn't, I'm still going to show y'all here in a moment. This crate on the top, there's like a question mark on it. It says, well, this crate has to go on here, on this platform, and whenever it does, it'll put off a sound, just a basic sound I put on here, just for, so you know something happened. And I'll have 3 crates right here that'll spawn. I'll have one right here, and one on top of that one, so you can jump up here. I might have to adjust the jump height, because at first I had it set up for mobile, but I transferred it back to PC or a web player. That way I can make a demo out of it. But when I did that, the deer just jumps too high now. But it's not that hard of a fix. I'll show y'all here in a little bit. And this present right here, that's your main obstacle. You want to get this. This is how you win the mission. Okay, and now whenever you hit this, it's not going to say you won or nothing. I didn't do all that. Because I set it up just how Frogger did it. Whenever you collect, you go to the other side of the map and you collect your 3 bugs or whatever it is the frog eats. Each time you get one, it'll teleport you back to the beginning of the map where you started. So I did it like that. So that way, I just made it to where you can still add on to it if you want, to where, because, not everyone wants to finish a game after just getting one thing. Because this was a game I was going to make, but I sort of abandoned it because I started working on something, well, more better to me. But anyways, yeah, let me go ahead and show y'all. Hit play. Oops, let me get out of there. Let's go right here. Now, as you see, I got presents collected up here. It was just, I had it set at 0 right now. As you see, we got vehicles that they actually randomly spawn, and like the red cars and the yellow cars go faster than the green cars. As you see right there, the red cars just zoom on by. So pretty much the green cars are the slowest ones. The yellow ones are somewhat in between, and the red ones are the fastest. A and D turn, W goes forward, S goes back, space jumps. Like I said, I can adjust the jump height. I'll show y'all here in a little bit. Oops, I don't know what happened. I think I know what happened. I'll have to fix that. Okay, now we try to cross the highway without getting hit. It's set up for an easy level right now. There's no, stuff really too hard. Alright, now let's just go ahead and knock the crates down so we can get this one crate. Now this one crate does not get actual collisions with the vehicles. I made it a trigger, that way the vehicles can't just knock it around and the boxes fly everywhere. Now these other crates, they'll actually collide with the vehicle, but this one won't. Okay, now we gotta try to push it up here, jump and knock it up there. So as you can see, the yellow car just flew right through it. Don't want to get hit. Yeah, I got random horns on the vehicles. It's through an array. Ooh, almost got hit. Ah! Oh man. I can see the logs over there. Let me show y'all real quick before I do that. Oh, yeah, I gotta fix that. That's one thing I'll fix real quick here in a moment. I'll just do that in a minute. That'll already be fixed whenever you try to mess with the game. This is, I switched it all from mobile to PC, so it's a little different. As you can see, I got hit by the vehicle and it knocked me back to the starting position. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and show you all this crate real quick. Usually, right now, since I'm recording, I'm only getting roughly 119 frames a second. Usually it's about 240, for me at least. I mean, I don't got that strong of a PC. It's actually a crappy one. But as you see, watch, whenever I get this crate up here, the vehicle hit it. Oops. And now watch the vehicle when they hit it. See the vehicles will knock it out of spot and all that. Ooh, almost got hit. Now I'll fix the collider for the box. I had it as a sphere collider at first, but see, you heard that noise? That means I unlocked the crates. But yeah, I had it as a sphere collider, and it was just walking up the crates and stuff, and I didn't want that, so I changed it to a box collider. That's why I have to jump to get the crates over things. But as you can see, I unlocked the 3 crates, and I get the package, and yeah, we just won. I mean, that's because like I said, I didn't set it up to actually win. I left it to where you can still add on to it if you'd like. But yeah. Alright, now let's go and let's fix a couple things while I'm at it, and you'll learn because I'm fixing things. Okay, first things first, I want to go ahead and explain the way I got the hierarchy. I got player, level objects, cameras, and missions. Alright, missions is everything to do with that one crate at the top up here. I just left it that way so it would be easier for y'all to understand. Here's the question mark crate. You want to get it over there on that platform. Okay. This is the present. That's the main mission. We got the platform. That's the present's on. And we got the placeholder for the trigger. That's the placeholder for it. And the trigger is inside of it. Okay. And we got the 3 wooden crates we want to activate whenever the box gets on here. So we do that, and then it does a click noise for, it could be any noise you want. Alright. And, yeah. Alright. Let me minimize all this. As you can see, the mesh renderer is not on. See, if I turn it on, there's your trigger right there. Okay. Let me turn it back off though. There ain't no reason to have it on unless you want me to cut it on. Then I'll make a version for that and edit it. Okay. Alright. Now, cameras it's just, you know, the main player camera. I stuck it somewhere, you know. Alright. There's that. I don't think I need this anymore, but I'll leave that on there. This is from whenever I had it set up for mobile, but it still might be useful. I'll leave it on. And this is just the basic script that comes with Unity and the standard assets. I just did the smooth follow, distance 11.3523. Okay. Alright. Now, level objects. This is everything in the level that has to do with anything, like the roads, these little Jersey barriers and stuff like that. All the crates, as you can see. I did it all like this so it's easier for y'all to keep it organized, if you know what I mean. Everything's organized pretty nicely. See, all the highways are in here. All the wood crates are in here. Okay. Break crate. I don't know why I named that break crate. Well, I'll just change it back to wooden crate. Alright, there's that. Alright, wooden crate. You know, we got our vehicle killers, you know, the little gray boxes right here. I'm just trying to show y'all everything so you know how this is organized. Terrain has the you know, the sun, the light, you know, the directional light. Okay, we got all our wooden fences, which are these right here. Okay. We got walls, which are these right here, the black little outside things. I didn't know how else to do it because I don't know how to, you know, like I said, build like a fog of war like Frogger and Command and Conquer and all that do. Alright. Oh yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. Let me go back to water and let me fix this real quick. And the reason it killed me is because the water's so close to the top, my box collider hit. So I'm just gonna make it a little smaller or lower down. It shouldn't hit now. But now I gotta fix the way these things are set up. I'm actually gonna adjust the terrain from a pixel error of 200 because this was a mobile game, but now I want to change it to, let's do 15. So now there's a lot more detail with the water. Okay, let me go ahead and fix this. Just trying to keep the water, you know, somewhat better. Oops. Okay. I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm just trying to give you all something to work with. That way, you know, it's at least better than it was. I make sure my water spawner. Let me get out of here real quick. Let me click here. Let me click here. Make sure this is aligned properly. Okay, everything's good now. Alright, now we're going to get into all the code. Like I said, I want to comment everything that I haven't commented yet. That way, y'all can understand what's going on and how everything works. Okay, first script we're going to work with is let's do the respawn, because I'm starting from the top to the bottom. Okay, let me get out of everything else because we don't even need to look at that yet. Unless you want to look at the README. The README is obviously something very important, but I'll let y'all read that on your own. So that's not anything doing with the game itself. That's just explaining things. Okay. It looks like I've already commented this. I'll close the README. But I want to read it out for you anyway. Alright, respawn. And it says, this is the player respawn script. What this script does is, if the player is hit by a vehicle or falls into the water, it will respawn player to the start position of map, which is where you started at. Sorry about that, I had to pause. If the player is hit by a vehicle or falls into the water, it will respawn the player to the start position of the map. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, public transform destination. This is a location where the player respawns. This is the location of where the respawn location is. This can be an empty game object, a cube, a sphere, etc. It doesn't matter as long as it's an object that exists in the level. It works by picking up the location of the transform and pretty much teleporting the player to the location within one frame. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, but this does not actually teleport. This is just loading it into like a variable. Okay. Now, this is where everything starts happening. Void on trigger enter collider collision. Collider. It can be collision too, but that's two different things. What this means is pretty much is the following below. Void on trigger enter collider. I just made COL for just, like a temporary variable for collider. I usually do collision enter, but for some things it's better to do trigger. Okay. Now, if an object with the tag of vehicles or water or whatever you want to put hits the player or any object, then move the player to the respawn position. If collider.gameObject.tag equals vehicles, debug log, you can delete these if you want, this is extra stuff, I just put it there so you know if something's working, but it does debug log, then this transform, which means whatever the script is actually on, it's going to affect that one. Okay, let me put it in other words, this player position equals destination transform position. Okay, so pretty much what this is saying is, what this means is this player position, if it's hit with the tag of vehicles or water, then move the player's position to the respawn position, which is the transform destination position. Just make sure you have properly set up tags in the inspector. Make sure any object you use as a trigger is marked trigger inside the inspector. Inside the collider of the object that needs to be a trigger. Don't forget, you can use on trigger stay or on trigger exit as well. Look them up. They can be used for other various reasons that might be more suited for your situation. Like on trigger stay pretty much means I'm not going to delete this. Actually, I'll leave it on there. If the player is on trigger stay, then that means if the player stays collided within the object, then it is on trigger stay. Notice I did a typo up here. On trigger stay. Because the difference is on trigger enter only works one time. It just does it that one frame. But on trigger stay is it stays active as long as the player is in the trigger. So it's going to be updating every single frame the player is in that trigger or collision or whatever. I'll put this under it though just to make it more suitable. Okay. Alright, we done respawn. Let me go ahead and save this actually because the changes I made. Alright, now let's go to push object. This is for like the crates and stuff like that. Alright, well, you need to comment this one. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's do like, let me do that. Okay, that's how you do a comment. Like if I hit enter right now, it's going to keep putting more catastrophes or whatever they're called. I'll delete those. Alright. Now, script uses force to push objects. Okay. Yeah. Alright. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. It uses force to push stuff. Okay. Now, actually, let me do that again. Let me just space out right here. Do it like that. This uses a force of 2, or what you set in the inspector. Okay. So pretty much it's defaulted out in the script at 2, but you can change it in the inspector because it's a public. Okay, I mean that makes sense, right? Oh, I gotta fix this actually because I'm not using the mobile character controller no more. Okay, that's not a problem. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. On collision, oops, I gotta get rid of my capitals. Collision, enter. And we're gonna do collision. Oops. Collision. I'm just gonna leave it as hit. That way it's just, you know, it stays everything working the way it should. If hit. Actually, I don't even need this no more. Actually, no, I don't. Okay, we don't even need the script no more, actually. So, yeah, let me just go ahead and delete this because it's already using a rigid body now, so it automatically does the physics. I was faking physics for the mobile. So let me go ahead and actually change this back. Okay. I want to save this as for mobile. Use the script for mobile character controller or any character. Oops. No, I got it. Controller to fake physics pushing objects. Yeah. So if you have a character controller, or if you're using a character controller for mobile devices, use this script right here to fake physics of pushing stuff. Okay. Let me come here. Oops, I messed up. I gotta do this. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. Okay. Now let me go back. Oops. Okay, now let me come back here and just do this. There. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, cool. We're good. Okay, but I want to disable the script because I don't need it now. I'm just going to leave it disabled, but I'll make a new section and I'll drop it in mobile, like a mobile script section. Okay, but yeah, this, if you have a character controller and not a rigid body, like I said, you use this. Let me make that like that so it's easier to see. So, yeah, you got a character controller. Doesn't matter if it's mobile or whatnot. You use this to fake pushing physics, even though you're not using actual physics to push it. Okay, save that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make me a new section. I put all my actual assets that I'm using in a folder called imported. That's just something I came accustomed to. There's no certain reason why. I just got used to using it. Go to scripts. Okay, we got destroyed objects, GUI, levels, physics, pickups, players, systems, vehicles, and water. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and make a folder called mobile. Mobile. Oops, let me refix that because I got capitals on accident. Mobile. Okay. Always use underscores. That way it keeps everything alphabetical. Okay. Come here, come here. You just click on that so I can locate it. And I'll put you in mobile. Okay. Now I can delete the physics because I don't need that no more. Where's it at? Right here. Okay. delete that. Alright, now I got me a mobile section if we need to move anything, which I don't think I do now. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Now we got our movement. This is like the most important script. Okay. Load it up. Okay. Now, here's what's happening. Of course, we got our PC movement. This is because I was using the PC I changed everything. I just literally remade all this tonight. Okay, we got public game object player cam. This is our camera for the player. Then we got public float walk speed. This is just the speed of the player when they're walking, running, whatever you want to put. We got jump height. This is the height in force, not transform translate. Okay, remember that. This is just for force. Now, I don't think in the inspector, I don't think I got it at 100. It's just a preset thing I used. Okay. Public bool can jump equals true. This tells the computer if the player is able to jump. Access animator controller, which is this. We just gave it a variable name of anim. If you have any mechanism animations, use this to access the player's animator component. Alright, now we go to update. This entire section is how the player moves. It's pretty self-explanatory. W moves forward, S moves backwards, A rotates left, D rotates right. I will explain each piece with a comment. By pressing W, you use transform translate to move in the vector 3 forward direction, which is the Z-axis, by how fast our walk speed is times time delta time. Time delta time allows for smooth transition between frames, usually only needed in void update, not in void fixed update. Usually. Not in all cases are like that, however. Where it says anim.setFloat run 1, 1, and 0, we are accessing the animation component and changing a value from 0 to 1 to play a walking animation, and 1 to 0 to go back to idle. Okay. We got if input get key code W. Transform translate vector 3 forward, which remember is the Z axis, times our speed of, we didn't set it up in here, we set it in the inspector, which I believe I set it to 6. So we're going to move at 6 units per second, I believe, times time delta time, which just smooths it out so it's not going to shoot off at 6 units like every frame. Then we're just changing the animation component. We're changing the variable of walk, which is, let me go show you. This, I guess this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is our walk animation right here. I didn't add no other animations. Okay. But I would like to know. Oh no, that's something else. That's for the health. Never mind. Let me get out of that. Let me go find it. Let's see here. Player right here. Okay, here's our animation. I knew something seemed wrong at first. Okay. As you see, we get idle, jump, and walk. This is just a different idle. I didn't use it yet, but you're welcome to use it if you want, but I'm not going to get into that. Okay, I got to minimize this. That way I can show y'all. Okay, we got a walk right here. See how it said on 0, 0? We'll say we want to jump. Okay. If walk is less than 0.1, and it's less than 0.1, as you can see, and if you press in spacebar to jump, jump is true. Okay. Just opposite, jump is false and goes back to idle. Okay. Now walking, if it's greater than 1, which is, let me show you, which is greater than 0.1. Okay. So if it's greater than 0.1, play this animation. If it's not, go back to idle. I hope that's making sense. Okay. Alright, now let's go back down. Same thing as W. However, only difference is we are using vector 3 back, which stays on the Z axis, but instead of going forward, it will move backwards. Okay. And whenever we let go of the key, it goes back to idle. Same thing. I mean, it's just like W, it's just in reverse. That's why I didn't put a big comment like this again. And remember how I said up here, A turns left and A rotates right. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. If I press the key of A, rotate -2 units to the left. If I press D, rotate 2 units to the right. Alright? Now, remember how I mentioned up here the jump. If jump is true and walk is less than 1, then you can play the jump animation. But, now if I go from walk, if walk is greater than 0.1, so if you're walking or running, whichever you want to put, and you press the space bar to jump and it's true, play the jumping animation because you'll be in the air. Otherwise, whenever you hit back on the ground, when jump is false, and you're still walking, transition back to walk instead of idle. I mean, I'm hoping I'm making sense. If you're having problems, please message me, and I will put my email in the README, which it should already be there actually. So if you have any questions, just message me, and yeah, I'll see what I can do to help you. Alright, now let's go back to our script. I forgot to comment on this. Okay, so let's comment this right quick. Alright, oops, I won't put that there. Alright, if we press the space bar and can jump equals true, then let us jump in the air by adjusting the rigid body velocity y, which is up and down, by jump height variable. Okay, I hope that makes sense. This is a bool right here, and I'll explain this when we get down here. This is a bool, so if you press spacebar and this is true, then let us jump. I'm hoping that makes sense. Otherwise, do not let us jump. This prevents double, well, not really double jumping, but jumping a million times in the air if you just keep pressing spacebar. Okay? So, again, this is accessing the jump variable in the animator component. So, if you're walking and you press spacebar, play the jump animation. Otherwise, whenever you hit the ground, whenever you hit the ground, I wish it would, there we go. Whenever you hit the ground, disable the jump bool so it's going to be false. That way you go back to your run animation. Rigid body velocity equals new vector 3, 0, which is the x-axis. Jump height, which is just the temporary variable I did at the top, right here, to give it a force in the inspector to whatever number I want to jump up in the air. And the z-axis is 0, 2. That way we don't move forward or anything like that. Okay. Alright. Actually, I can get rid of this now. We don't need that. Alright. Now, pretty much the way this is set up now, to where if we're having a collision with nothing whatsoever, I mean nothing, then the rigid body use gravity equals true. I have it set this way because if you're on the ground, sometimes you'll start sliding everywhere. So I disable gravity unless we come up off the collision. Okay. Oh, I got 2 of them. I didn't know that. Let me delete that one. I don't need 2 of them. Okay. Now this, I commented it out. You can use this right here if you want to. You change this -200. Well, you got to delete these 2 first if you want to use it, but I'm going to put them back. You change this 200 to some other negative number. Make sure it's not positive unless you want to fly straight up in the air. Now, if you use this as a negative number, I'll show you what I mean. Actually, let me comment it or uncomment it, and I'll show you what it does. Go back to the game. Let me start the game up real quick. Alright. Now, you can see I'm in the game. So as you can see, it just pushes me right back down to the ground. This can be very useful if you're wanting to change gravity per se. So if you come up off the ground It doesn't matter anyways. You can jump off this truck and it's going to push you right back down to the ground. Okay. But that's why I disabled gravity. Because when you're on the ground, you don't need gravity unless you absolutely need it. But it saves performance, I would assume. Because, well, you're not using gravity. And that's one less calculation. Let me get hit by a vehicle. Okay, there we go. Okay. Alrighty. Now I want to disable that real quick. Because we don't need that unless you want to use it. But it's there if you want it. I'll put a comment by it. Use this if you want to affect how strong gravity is. Okay, now this only works for your player or whatever the script is attached to. Okay, now whenever we lose the collision with anything we're touching, jumping is false. That just makes it where you can't jump in the air. That's it. You just can't jump in the air. Now, when you're using on collision stay, let me go ahead and I thought it deleted these. Delete those. I don't need those no more. I still need that though. Okay. Now, when we're colliding with anything, I mean anything whatsoever. Yeah, if we're colliding with anything whatsoever, then we're allowed to jump. Gravity just becomes false, and then we just make the jumping animation false, so it doesn't play the animation on the ground. That's all. Okay. Let me get rid of this. We don't need these no more. Okay. There's that. Okay, that script is done and explained. Okay. If you need any help, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Now this right here, I forgot I even noticed this. I'm going to get rid of that. Now you're able, if you want, you can, now I'll just leave it on there so you can mess with it. That's something entirely different. It didn't really work out too well for me, but if you want to try to use this, just disable this one right here and reactivate that one. That's all you gotta do. It just wasn't as smooth of a jump for me, but I'll still leave it on there for you just in case you want to try it. But yeah, alrighty. Let's close this script and close this script. All the player scripts are done and explained. Alrighty, now let's go to prefabs. Over here, let's go to vehicles. We're going to go to cars first. Now all these cars have the same exact scripts, so I'm not going to go over each car because they're the same thing. They're just different color and different speed, that's all. Okay, we're going to go over the green car. Alright. Now the rigid body I have set up like this. That way it just doesn't get knocked around. I left it X because if I do that, then it won't detect any collisions, or it didn't for me ever. So I just left one of them open. I selected these because I don't want the car to shoot up in the air. I don't want it to move forward or backwards. I haven't seen it move left or right yet, so we're good on that. I don't want the car to turn in any rotations by force. I just want it to stay straight. That's all I want. Okay, now leave gravity. Okay. Now if you want, you can change these to different, materials, but I left it as mobile vertex lit because, like I said, this was a mobile game, and there's nothing wrong with them. They work. Okay. Now we're going to go over the script. This very basic script, as you can see, drive speed 15. Alright, we're going to go into it. I know I got to comment this one. Okay. See, as you can see, very, very basic. Okay. We're going to comment this. Oops, I like to do it in caps. This is the speed of the vehicle. Change in inspector to your liking. Okay, that's pretty simple, what I would have to say. Okay, now instead of pressing if input dot get key code W, let's just say that, because this requires a key to be pressed to use this. We don't want that. What we want It's just to automatically do it for us. So it's just going to automatically go into z-axis, which is vector 3 forward, at the speed of the variable which you set in the inspector, times time delta time, just to smooth it out. Okay, I want to comment this in case you need it. This automatically moves the vehicle in the z-axis at the speed of drive speed and time delta time to smooth transition between frames. Hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm actually gonna do this right here so it's easier to read. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's that script. It's done. Alright. I mean, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Alrighty. Now, that's the car. Now we got one more. This one's a little different. Okay. Let's go back to vehicles. Oops, I want to go there. I want to go to trucks. I didn't add a tractor, so I'm just going to delete that. Now I'll leave it on there in case you ever want to add your own tractors. Okay. Now the box truck, it's a little bit different. And I'll show you why. Let me come right here. And I'll drag it on the map. As you can see, we got different objects on here. We got the actual truck, which is this. It's the actual model. Okay. But as you can see, the axes aren't set up properly. I did this on purpose so I can show y'all that the z-axis is going up. So if I did vector 3 forward, the truck's just going to go up instead of this direction. Okay. So what I had to do is I created two scripts. One for, well, the same thing, drive speed. It's the same script we just looked at. Then I put destroy parent. Okay. So what's going to happen is this has a tag of vehicles and a layer of vehicles, okay? So the vehicles are going to go through this black little wall I made, and as soon as it hits this gray thing, the vehicle itself, this one will destroy, but not the parent. Okay? So I had to do something a little differently so I can show y'all how this actually works. Okay? And I already commented in the script, I believe. Okay, we already looked at drive, so let's look at destroy parent. Yeah. Okay. This one is a little long of just comment. The rest of it is pretty simple. It's that little bit of code. Okay, I want to read it to you. I made the box truck have a parent to show how the difference is because we don't always fix the axis in our 3D modeling program. So if you don't, you have to use a child game object to allocate the difference in the right direction of forward movement or any other movement because our 3D modeling programs are 99.9999% of the time have the z-axis as up instead of y. As Unity's understanding, z-axis or z is always the forward movement in Unity. 3D modeling programs always have z aiming up. So if you forget to fix the axis, use a child as the parent and make the child do everything else. Pretty much what I was saying is, if you forget to fix the axis of anything in Unity, just use a child object and it'll move in the proper direction. Just rotate your object to fit it properly. That's all. Okay. If they have a parent, use this script to destroy the parent of the vehicle after a period of time to keep it somewhat more organized so you don't have a bunch of empty game object parents running around for millions of miles. Adjust the timer in the inspector. That way you can adjust them differently for each type of vehicle or log, depending how fast you have your vehicle or logs or other various objects in motion. The logs are the the logs in the water. Alright. I would just try and destroy the parent game object when the vehicle colliders with the vehicles kill them or kill the trigger. But I haven't gotten it to work properly, so I made this script in hopes just to make things easier for the beginner to understand. I'll leave it at 10 seconds, as that's a good number to work with, just to make sure our truck makes it through and destroys. Otherwise, if the parent destroys before the child, the truck will just get stuck in the road with nowhere to go. Okay. Now this is just a basic little timer. It's a public float. This is the timer to destroy the parent game object. Okay. Use negative equals time delta to keep the timer consistently independent from frame rate. So it will always execute on time. Timer to destroy minus equals time delta time, which is what this is explaining. If the timer is less than or equal to 0, then destroy the parent. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, it works. Okay. Now, that's that script. I want to show y'all what I mean by that. Okay. Here's the child. The child's controlling the vehicle. Okay. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and hit F just a bunch of times, and it'll lock onto your vehicle, or whatever it is you're trying to look at, it'll lock onto it. As you can see, the vehicle got destroyed, but we still have our parent. The timer's counting down right here, and boom, the parent is destroyed, so it's no longer there. I just made it that way. It was much simpler to deal with. The same thing with the logs. I mean, it's there. Okay, the log is about to destroy in 1 second. Because the logs were a parent itself, so I had to delete it like that. Okay. That's pretty much almost all the whole game. I mean, I got a couple more things to show y'all. Okay. Now we got our truck. Then we got horn trigger. Okay. This is a little different. I got 2 different horns and an array. Okay. I got horn 4 and truck horn, Kenworth, 1969. There's a couple scripts I found. Not scripts, but audio files. I put the link to the place where I got my sound effects in the README file. But let me click on horn and I'll show y'all. See, another basic script. Okay. I don't remember if I need that. I'm just gonna comment that out just in case. I don't exactly remember. I know it's something to do with saving stuff, I believe. But I'm just going to comment that out because I don't think I need that. I think that was just something I was working on, and I just, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll just leave it. It hasn't done nothing to harm anything. Okay. This script honks a horn if the player or a vehicle is in front of the vehicle. Okay. That's pretty much as simple as it is. Okay. This is an array of audio clips. Okay, that's an array. It just holds multiple things. So it's, instead of doing public audio clip, public audio clip, public audio clip, you stick it all in one. And I just gave the variable name horn SFX. Okay. Now, as you can see, these look a little bit different than the ones I was using for the player movement, where I just had on collision enter and just left these blank. That's because I'm using a collider to detect if anything specific is in the way. So, if the game object equals player that runs in front of the horn trigger, then we're going to choose a random audio clip within this array. So I got 2 horns, and it's going to pick one of those 2, and it's going to play it. Okay, I'm just going to comment, picks random audio clip in the array and plays it. I mean, it's just that simple. Same thing with this. This is just, if it's a different tag, then we're going to play the audio clip again. So if player gets in front of the vehicle, or another vehicle gets in front of the vehicle, it'll honk at it. I mean, it's just that simple. Okay. always use an else if to add another type of tag or collision, as you can only use, I believe, just one on trigger enter and on collision enter. Alright, there's that. Okay, the same thing as this, I just did an else if, that way I can use a different tag. Okay, I mean, this stuff is just that simple. I mean, I'm hoping this is helping y'all. I'm sorry, this is actually almost an hour long already. I just really want to explain this whole program, or this game, how it works. That way you can hopefully use this, or use the scripts in it, and make your game. Okay, now we got vehicle breaker. We don't need that, I don't think. Why do I have two different things? I'm going to pause this real quick. I want to see if I need this. It doesn't make sense why I have two different things. Hey guys, I'm back. I figured out what I did. I have two different triggers, one farther than the other, for two different things. I'm going to go ahead and just delete the vehicle breaker. Actually, wait a minute. No, that's okay. I see what I did. Okay, this is just in case a vehicle gets in front of you. You can use this one right here, vehicle breaker, so the vehicle doesn't go through the other one. The other one's just a trigger, and so is this one. But just the way it works, it doesn't go through the other vehicles. Hope that makes sense. Okay, it's the same script as the horn that it did on horn trigger. So we can just go ahead and do that right there. We don't need to worry about that no more. Okay. Alright, let me go ahead and just delete the truck, because we don't need that no more. We're almost done. Let me go to this one. We'll go to the trigger script. Okay, it's right here. Let's go in here. I'm not sure if I explained this one yet or not. No, I haven't. Okay. Let's comment this real quick. Okay, this is the mission. Okay, collect the present and activate. Let me do it like this: OBJ1, OBJ2, OBJ3. Okay, these are the crates that appear when the special crate goes to the trigger, the crate with the question mark. Okay, there's that. Okay, these are the crates. Use this to enable the crate to exist. That's pretty much the easiest way to explain it for all three of these. Okay, this is the actually let me put it in front. This is the audio clip that plays once when the special crate lands on the trigger. Oops. On the trigger. Okay. Alright. Now we got on trigger, enter, collider. This is just a variable, COL for collider. If the tag of trigger zone, okay, which is the crate, I believe. Yeah. I gave this a tag of trigger zone. That way, we'll change it. Now we'll just leave it. Now I'll add another one. We'll just change you to mission. Oops. Mission crate. Okay, that's just to make it a little more easier. Okay, mission crate. And we'll change this to mission crate. Okay. Then we use obj1, obj2, obj3, set active equals true, which just means it enables the transform. If you put false, it'll disable it so it just doesn't appear. Then we play the audio clip. I mean, it's just that simple. Okay. We don't need this no more, but I'll leave that actually. Actually, yeah, I'll just leave that there. Nah, I'll delete it. Actually, we don't need it. I'll leave it. I'm sorry. That way you can understand how instantiation works. If you instantiate, actually, no, I don't even got it on here. I'm just gonna delete it. Okay. All right. Well, it just enables the objects. I'll put that on here. All three OBJs. Oops. All three OBJs are enabled. Plays audio clip one time. Yeah, see, I mean, it's that simple. I mean, if the tag of mission crate, which is our crate, lands on our trigger over here, this one right here, then what we're going to do is we're going to come here, select these three, and it pretty much just enables this. Watch. It just enables them, so that way you can interact with them and jump up here. Okay, but we're gonna leave them disabled for now because we don't want them activated unless that crate gets over here. Okay. But yeah, that's that. We're almost done, guys. As soon as it doesn't want to be slow and do this. Okay. What else do we got here? That's pretty much it. No, actually, I think we might have already done this. Okay. No, we haven't. Okay. All right. When the player, oops, why do I do that? The player collides with the present respawn player to the start position. Okay. Now this accesses the GUI that tells you how much of the variable is added. So it starts off at 0. If you pick up the present, it'll give you 1. So you collected 1 present. This is the spot where you should respawn. Okay. All right. Adds 1 present collected to the GUI variable. Okay. Now, it's set up like this: public presence collected. Okay. This is another script. Okay. And I gave it a temporary variable name called collected. Okay. And this is the respawn location. Okay. Alright. Now, the present has to understand. At first, it's not going to understand what this is and this is. Okay. This is something that's completely empty whenever you whenever the present's on the map. Okay. So you have to tell it to find it. Okay. Finds the present collected GUI script and find the respawn location script. Okay. It finds it and then it will put it in here. Like this is the GUI and this is the location where we respawn at. Okay. So if the player collides with the present, then add +1 package, well, present. Oops, float, presents collected, and respawn player to start of map. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, if the tag of player collides with the present, which is the player, then add 1 plus equals 1. Okay. Presents collected to the GUI. Okay. Then it's going to destroy the present, so you can't get it in. So you can't collect it again. Then respawn player to start. Yeah, there's that. Okay. I hope that makes sense. If the player collides with the present, it'll destroy the present and give it 1 present collected. And then it will respawn the player back to the start position. Okay. There's that. Alrighty. Actually, I need to go ahead and... Actually, no, I can leave that in there. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Scripts. Let's see. GUI. This is for mobile. This is mobile stuff. This isn't something I made. These were something I found. So, I don't know exactly how it works. I do, but they're there if you want to look at them, because I didn't make these, so I don't know, because I'm not very good with resolutions and stuff like that. These were just something that, I mean, I sort of made them, but I didn't. I found them on Unity Answers. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go to water. Okay. This is how you make water actually animate. Okay. This is how to animate a moving texture. Okay. It's just a texture. It ain't nothing else. We give it a vector 2, and we give it an offset. Okay, which is the offset. We give it a material index. Give a material index. Then we change the UV animation rate. Okay. And we change the main text. Okay. Which is the main diffuse texture. Okay. Now what we're doing is we're changing the offset. We change the offset of the UVs to the animation rate, which moves the texture. If the renderer is enabled, then animate the texture. Or we'll say move. Makes it more simple. Okay, there's that. Okay, let's go back to scripts. Levels 1, create detected. Okay, we already did that one. Okay. Where's it at? Systems. Okay, yeah, we need to look at this one. Okay. This is for the logs moving left. Okay, from the right side of the screen to the left. From the right side of the screen to the left. Change the speed and inspect this because I don't need that. This is something that was for update. What this does, if the player enters the trigger, we parent the player to it so it does not slide off. Okay. If the player no longer is on the log or platform that moves, no longer attached to it. Okay. So it can just come off. Okay. It's the same thing with this one right here. This is just the opposite direction. Oh no, I didn't have to use that one. Okay. Might as well delete that because I don't need that one now. Okay. Now this is our GUI. This is just the most basic thing. Okay. This is our GUI for how many presents collected. This is the variable that determines how many crates, not crates, presents, collected. Okay. Now, what we can do is I want to add me another section for you. Oops. Let's do void update. Alright. If presents collected is greater than or equal to, let's just do 1. Change to the max amount of crates you want to win. So if you want 5 crates, then make it 5 crates. So if I'm not crates, why do I keep putting crates? I don't know why I'm thinking of crates. Presents. Change to the max amount of presents you want to win. So let me actually put this above it so I can add another line. Okay. So if you want 5 presents to win the game, change the 1 to a 5. Okay. Alright. Now let's add one more of these. Okay. Do stuff here. Okay. We're going to let's see, what can I do for y'all? Let's see here. We'll destroy the player. Just for basic stuff. Alright. Okay. Public game object player. Oops. Okay. We just made a variable called player. Okay. This accesses the player transform. Okay. Alright. We're gonna do destroy player dot game object. Okay. That should work. We're gonna do a debug log as well. Debug log player dead or wins. Okay. Let's do what you want to happen when you win. Win. Such as, oops, let me make sure it's right too. Application.load level. Okay, we're gonna do name of save scene. Okay, we're gonna do that. Or do what's below. We're gonna put you in there. I'm actually gonna get rid of that. Yeah. Okay. So pretty much what's going to happen is if we collect greater than or equal to 1, so if we collect 1 or more packages pretty much would say a package was 1.5. So if we collected 1.5, then it's an automatically win. But since we're using integers instead of floats, we're going to do if it's equal to 1, pretty much. I still put greater than just in case. So if we get one package, you can do stuff here. Change it to do what you want to happen when you win, or do what's below, which is this. Okay. Otherwise, since we have this commented out, if we uncomment that, just name it whatever level you want. Like whatever you have saved, you make sure it's in your build section. I'll show y'all in a minute. But we'll just comment that out. Do that if you want. It's just to load up another level. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to destroy the player and we're going to win. Just do a debug log that says win. Okay. And this right here is the GUI. We'll just delete that. We don't need that. This shows how many presents are collected at the top left area of the screen. Okay. So we're doing a GUI label, a new rect of 10101020. It's going to say presents collected. Then it's going to do plus. Then it's going to show the presents collected, which is the amount you have, to a string. So it's going to show it. And it's just like, it's that simple. Okay. Alright. What else? Everything. Okay, we already done that one. We've done that one. We've done that one. Okay. We've done that one. Now let me move that. Let me put you back in scripts. Well, actually, wait a minute. Why is this even in here? Okay, PC movement. Okay, we need to move this and this and this and this and this to somewhere else. Okay, we're going to, I'm going to go ahead and move this to where it should hopefully be. Okay, I need to go, let's see here. I ain't got a spot for it yet. Okay, we're just going to name you particles. Particles. Okay, there's that. Okay, now we're going to go back to scripts, player. I'm going to go ahead and just move all this. I'm going to put you in particles. Okay, there's that. We're going to make a new folder called respawn. Okay, that's organized now. Okay, we've done all that. Yeah, I think that's everything, guys. Let me go back to here, and I'm going to open up the README so y'all can see it. It's very important that you read this because it explains whatever's mine and what isn't mine. And this is where I get all my sound effects from, unless I make them, which I can. I just want to do it more simple, you know. This is a very good website. Alright, all the scripts, okay, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's very important. This is how you contact me, right here, david.watts@warheaddesigns.com. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything you would like to know, just please message me, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. I really hope this video helped y'all, and yeah, I hope y'all enjoy.